A member of Congress that kind of reminds us of that Godzilla meme is joining the program right now. He's somebody who's every single time we see him on TV or every single time we see him on the House floor, he's very much like metaphorically ripping the skull off of something and holding it up as a trophy and screaming and doing a just damn good job of it. The man who is known for his fine apparel at the State of the Union, the best dressed at the State of the Union. If we don't have it in the script, we got to get it, boys. The great Troy Nehls from Judiciary from Texas, 22, right now. You'll never get a better intro.
No, I love it, Benny. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Okay, so let's chat a little bit. Mayorkas impeachment. I know this is something that is very near and dear to your heart. Somebody from Texas, somebody who's been a hawk on this immigration issue for a very long time. We had a senator on yesterday saying that Roger Marshall saying he's going to do everything. They'll grind the Senate to a halt to get this impeachment process going. Do you see it going anywhere as it's left the House?
No, me personally, I don't. I think Chuck Schumer, he seems to be in charge of Congress over the past few months. I think if you sent those articles over there, I think Chuck Schumer will bury it. He'll dismiss immediately. I think it's, I just don't see it going anywhere. It just doesn't. I voted for impeachment. Obviously, I think that Mayorkas is an absolute disaster. He's a failure. And he has done things that are impeachable, his offenses. So, but I just don't think anything's going to happen in the Senate. It just doesn't. Nothing happens over there. Benny, come on.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not billions of dollars to Ukraine, doesn't move. Yeah, that's right. Doesn't move. So FISA, that's the big news of the day. FISA, this is obviously we're covering the undercover footage of an former FBI agent, CIA agent, guy named Gavin O'Blennis, who's on camera saying that they spied on Tucker Carlson. That Tucker Carlson has those receipts. That they spied on Alex Jones. And now Congress is on the foot of all that is going to reauthorize FISA so the government can continue to spy on us. What the hell, man?
Yeah, that's a big problem. It's a lot of, I mean, that's what we're probably going to see on Thursday, a vote up here on Thursday. Later today, we have a top secret briefing. I'm sure I'm going to hear what the Intelligence Committee and some others are going to say. If we do not reauthorize FISA, we will have more terrorist attacks, this and that. I tell you, when you look at what the FBI did in this FISA under Carter Page years ago, obviously Carter Page was affiliated with the Trump campaign. What they did on spying on him, the warrantless searches, I mean, they totally destroyed that man. They made him sound like he was an absolute a terrorist, and he's American, and FISA said, you don't spy on Americans, you spy on foreigners in foreign countries, not even the foreigners that are here. But the FBI's abused it more than one time. We just can't have it. And so I will not support, I believe President Trump said, you know what, you got to kill the FISA. We can't have it. They spied on him. And do you remember when Durham came in with that Durham report? I had an opportunity to question the FBI director, Rand. And I said, you know what Durham uncovered about the abuses of FISA related to Carter Page. If you don't recall, Benny, we got to remind the American people. Remember they said Trump was in Russia at the Ritz-Carlton? He was at the Ritz-Carlton, and there were prostitutes that were peeing on him. Remember that? I've got it here. This is Comey's report. This is Comey in the paper. I don't know if Trump was with prostitutes peeing on each other in Moscow. Now, this is 4 or 5 months before a general election. What do you think the local housewife is going to think across the America to think this Donald Trump guy is with prostitutes? He's married. He's got a beautiful bride, a family. This is how bad and how abusive the FBI was on the Trump campaign. I'm a no on FISA. I'm a no.
Mike Johnson is seemingly backing the reauthorization of FISA. I mean, I understand that Speaker Johnson's in a tough position. I don't envy the guy at all. However, it does seem like this is something that he's backing, sort of this warrantless search. Is that going? I mean, is that going to pass? Is that going to work with the Republicans?
I can't see that working. I think Andy Biggs out of Arizona, I think Andy has an amendment out there that says you got to get a warrant, and you should get a warrant. I think Chairman Jordan, too, Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan supports the warrant. So if you don't get the warrant out there, you don't have really any control here or any justification to spy as they have. And that, I tell you, what you started out with, too, about what they've done to Alex Jones, and that his name is, O'Blenis, Gavin O'Blenis, with that interview, former FBI, working with the FBI, now with the CIA. Alex Jones has a right to go after him. But what we got to do is we got to confirm what this knucklehead is saying, try to verify. You kind of look at the guy, looks like he's a little goofy. I would try to go out there and try to confirm what he is saying, specifically as it relates to 20 or so FBI agents embedded into the crowd on January 6th. You got to verify some of these things this guy was saying.
So you have a colleague who's Clay Higgins of Louisiana, and he said that he has verified proof that there were FBI agents there on January 6th. You're on the judiciary, and you could subpoena, obviously, the judiciary. The DOJ is in control of the FBI, right?
Yeah, I think you're referring to Representative Clay Higgins, an old law dog, great guy, great respected member up here. And I think the American people have a right to know what truly took place on January 6th. But the American people didn't hear very, very little truth, if any at all, from the January 6th sham committee under Benny Thompson. And he was the puppet. Nancy Pelosi was the puppet master. A few months ago, I said, listen, Speaker Johnson, we need to form a select committee to look into the select committee. And I said the select committee we should form should be all Republicans, because that's what they had. That's what Nancy got when she rejected me, Jim Jordan, Kelly Armstrong, Jim Banks. She rejected us. So why don't we form a select committee made up of Republicans so we can really dive into this January 6th select committee? And I couldn't get it done. He refused to do so. But I think the American people deserve to know more about January 6th and what the sham committee with Liz Cheney and the others did to Donald Trump, blaming Donald Trump for everything. Shame on them.
Why would they delete all the records? Well, I mean, what possible purpose would you have for deleting all of the records?
Because they didn't behave very well now. They're going to try to destroy the evidence. I think we're trying to do what we can with House admin. I think Barry Loudermilk is trying to do what he can to try to release more of the videos of January 6th. But I think subpoenas should have gone out months ago already, because that they're going to talk about January 6th for the general election with Sleepy Joe. They're going to talk about it, make Trump look like he was just trying to overthrow the government. So in between January 6th and the abortion conversation you're having, what the hell else do the Democrats going to talk about? They can't talk about the inflation or the crime or the border or anything else, the endless wars. They're going to talk about abortion and January 6th. That's what I think you'll see. The American people will see on their televisions over the summer and into the fall.
So this FISA reauthorization, the intel agencies are going to come into Congress and they're going to say, hey, there's going to be a big terrorist attack, so you got to let us, there's going to be a terrorist attack because of the open border, so you got to give us more power, right? Yeah. And that's how it's going to work. And they're going to say, oh, we've created this problem by allowing terrorists into the nation through the open border. You have a new book out, by the way, Borderless by Design, a Trump-endorsed book about this exact topic. Of course, you're from Texas, so you would know better than almost anyone. And they're going to try and tell the story without, I've never seen any of these people push for closing the border. I've never seen any statements. They can make statements, right? They made statements day and night about Donald Trump. They can make statements. None of them's ever pushed to actually solve the crisis. They're just going to use the crisis for more power to destroy our civil liberties. Yeah.
So if why doesn't the intel community get out front of this and get the FBI director to come in and say, hey, listen, we have a problem now in the United States because our southern border is so porous, and we have individuals coming in here from China and every other place, Hamas, everybody else. We should be concerned about the welfare and the safety of the American people because of this borderless southern border, what we have down in the southern border through this administration. They're not going to do that. I'm not reauthorizing FISA for Benny for the FBI to abuse what they've abused for years. They're not going to change your behavior. You can try to throw all this language in this FISA reauthorization, but I don't think they're going to change the behavior. So the people coming into this country are all by design. Biden has allowed the people to come in for over 3 years now. Nothing's going to change with this administration. Nothing, Benny, unfortunately, nothing's going to change in Congress. The only thing that changes this country and get it back in the right direction is Donald J. Trump. That's it. We're going to do nothing up here to secure the southern border. It's not happening. I hate to share that with you and my constituents, Becky, but we're not going to do anything to secure the southern border. Not with this administration.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like not even Texas can lock up criminals who, we just played the footage. They stormed the border. They trampled on our soldiers.
Yeah.
And that in Texas, and they were released. They were released by a judge, like almost immediately. So not even in Texas. What a broken system, truly.
It is.
What a broken system. You say that only Donald Trump, nothing's going to change until Donald Trump gets back into office. And you put your money where your mouth is, or at least your fashion where your mouth is during the State of the Union. We'll never forget your Never Surrender shirt. I think that's the official Trump shirt from the Trump store with Donald Trump's mugshot on it, and your exquisite bow tie along with the Laken Riley pin. And so some of your colleagues there, obviously just wearing the suit and tie, but you sir went big.
Yeah, I like the bow tie. Probably need to cut back on the brownies and the cookies. You can see that a little bit. But overall, I thought I looked damper that evening. And it just was there to send the message. And that is, I and the people, the patriots across this great country, that is part of that mega movement, that Make America Great Again movement. I just want to let the American people know that there are people in Congress that supports Donald J. Trump to the end. And I will fight like hell, do everything I possibly can that he can come back, get reelected, and save this country. He's got to save our country. He's the only one that can do it. We had a pretty decent group on the stage, but nobody compares to Donald J. Trump. So once we get Trump in there, all of our country's ills will end. They'll all end. He'll fix it all. He will end the war in Ukraine. I predict Donald Trump wins. Putin's out of Ukraine by April 1st. He's gone.
That's our dream. That's our dream. As a father, as somebody who's going to eventually have draft age children, I don't want war. I don't want it. As a taxpayer, I don't want war. Just final question, Congressman. Did Donald Trump call you about that outfit? I mean, it's pretty impressive to wear his mugshot to the State of the Union.
Well, we've had some conversations. He sent me a nice little message and everything. I think he knows I've been with him from the beginning. We've got other members that are with him, but I just want to let him know, and the American people got to know, that if we don't change direction and we don't reelect Donald J. Trump, I don't know how we can't sustain what we've seen in the past 3 years. Another 4 years with this bozo in office, this absent-minded guy we have in office now. It could be very, very difficult to recover with 4 more years of these policies. So this is a very important election. They always say this is the most important one. No, this one is. This one here is do or die for the American people. And it's Donald J. Trump. And we all got to get out there and motivate our voters and make sure they don't try to rig and steal this one like they did in 2020.
If you want to support the congressman, if you wish to learn more about what Joe Biden has truly wrought on the border, please go check out Borderless by Design, Congressman Nehls' book, endorsed by Donald Trump here. You can see right on Truth Social. This book by one of the greatest congressmen is fantastic. Get your copy now. We have no country without strong borders. We got a country to save. Congressman, you're helping us save it. Godspeed.
Thank you, Benny. God bless you. God bless your listeners. You're doing a hell of a job, Benny. Keep it up, buddy. This is what we need. We are being silenced. We are being silenced by the dishonest media, the greatest threat to our country, the dishonest media. So it's individuals like you and others. And Alex Jones, if you're listening, Alex Jones, you have a right to be a little bit flustered, right? Your feathers should be flustered right now with what that agent, that former CIA guy or that CIA guy said about you. And same with Tucker. I'll tell you, go after him. Go after him. This weaponization that the Republicans have said has happened with the DOJ, it's true, America. They're coming after Donald Trump. They're coming after anybody that's a mega movement individual. We got to push back. Let's win Trump 2024.
Just really quickly, since you brought it up, would you be in favor of subpoenas to figure out if this guy is telling the truth about Alex Jones? If they really were targeting?
Listen, everybody says a lot of stuff up here, Betty. You say this, you say that. This guy, I kind of looked at the guy. He looked a little like he's a little different. But what I would do is I would try to confirm, verify what he said. And if it's true, and if it's accurate, I think Alex Jones should go after. They should go after the federal government without question. And I think Tucker and everybody else should do it. These are abuses that the American people will not tolerate. We will not tolerate these abuses by the DOJ. The weaponization has been taking place. They've gone after Donald Trump for years. It's all going to stop. Trump 2024, baby. He's coming back.
Congressman, Godspeed.
Thank you. God bless you.